Can you still understand me even though the bells are ringing? Oh, that's wonderful.
I think it's very good. We've used it before. We were on other trips where they had the instruments, and they worked very well then, and they worked well today. We were also on some trips where we couldn't have the access to the hearing devices, and they did not. It was difficult to hear what was going on. People were pushing to get up at the front of the line, and so on. So no, I'm a big fan of it. I think it works very well. He's asking when we use these machines.
In Rome. In Rome.
Okay.
But I had trouble with mine.
Yes. In which respect, please?
I just couldn't hear it clearly.
When, today?
No, in Rome. Not this. This was wonderful.
Okay.
Much better. Much better.
In Germany?
Much better, yes. Much better in Germany, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and my husband has hearing aids. So did you tell him that? So it worked all right?
Put your instrument in this ear, and I left my hearing aid in this ear, and it worked just fine.
This is fantastic. I have wear hearing aids, and I've used systems like this before that were not good, and this is just superb. I heard everything all the time.
Okay.
Not only because of my hearing, but I think for people who don't have a problem, it still helps because there are no other outside, you don't hear other noises. You're hearing what the person is talking about. And when you go in a church or something where you're supposed to be quiet, you can still hear the person.
Excellent. It enables one to dilly-dally off to the side and still listen to the tour guide and hear her well and do whatever without having to hover around the guide. You're able to hear whatever she's saying.
What do you think about this audio system?
I love it. It's wonderful. You can hear everything. You don't have to stand right by the guide. And everything is explained, and you can stop and take a picture and catch up.
No, it's my first experience. Very good. I'm deaf in this ear, so I put it in this ear. It's wonderful.
Okay.
Actually, it's wonderful because if you happen to be in the back of the tour and you get behind some slow walkers, then by the time you catch up to the guide, who's of course at the front of the tour, she has started part of her talk, and you miss the first part because by the time the back of the group gets up to where she is, she's halfway through her talk, and so you've missed that part. This way, you miss nothing. And if someone asks her a question while you're walking, and again, you're in the back of the tour, you miss the question and the answer. So this way, you miss nothing. It's wonderful. Thanks.
Best tour I ever took was today.
I beg your pardon?
Best tour I ever taken was today. Because
2 reasons why it is wonderful. Number 1 is you don't have to be standing right next to the guide to hear. You can be strung out in a large group. Number 2 is when there are several groups around, you hear only your own guide. You're not trying to compete with hearing the other guides.
We can go sit down if we want, or we can stand on the other side of a statue or whatever, and we can still hear our guide. So I think it's wonderful. It's the first time I've ever used it. I love it.
If you happen to be close enough, you can turn the volume down so you just hear a small enhancement. So you have full control over it. And it works very well.
The last time I used it was in the Sistine Chapel, and it worked, but not nearly as well as this one did.